Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing this truth and sincerity. The water for what you do. We love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, and shalom to y'all. This is your brother Dawud from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right. Um, First and foremost, who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists or he to be. All right. And who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the savior or he is the deliverer. He saves, he delivers. If you're watching this now, you're a so-called black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, then you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. You would not find black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible. So you need to know who you are according to the Bible, because there's certain people in the Bible that was granted the power, king of the covenants, the glory, the kingdom, and salvation. All right. If you don't look like a so-called black, Native American, or Latino, but you feel like this is the truth and it resonates with your spirit, well, there's a possibility that you could be a Hebrew Israelite. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what color your skin is. It only matters that your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had his name changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is a prince of the power, or he prince power. Reading the accounts of our forefathers, all right, learning about the characteristics of the ways that we should be, and we learning about the characteristics and the ways that we should not be. All right. First Kings is a great example of the such. All right. So we're continuing on in First Kings chapter 21, verse 1, right? And subtitle reads, Ahab covets Naboth's vineyard. All right, so let's read. It says, and it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or, if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. And Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed, and turned away his face, and would eat no bread. But Jezebel his wife came to him, and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad, that thou eatest no bread? And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name, and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people. And set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme Yahweh and the king, and then carry him out and stone him, that he may die. So we got, and this is what we're talking about. Now, this is our foremother, right? However, these are the wicked characteristics we're talking about not having, all right? All right, the Lord said not to covet thy neighbor's vineyard or house, right? Or wife, you know? And here this wicked woman here is doing these things, man. Or at least premeditating it, right? Already. This whole chapter goes deeply and heavily about the sins that we directly committed, man. Transgression against the Lord, transgression against others. You know, this is a wicked act. Why do such things, man? You know, and this is one of the curses that the Lord said will happen, man. Right? We do that to this day. That's why we said don't do that, man. You not to be looking on another man's woman, man. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas in the world, that's what they do. And even some niggas in the truth, man. You're looking at bros, women, you know, trying to talk to bros, women. That's off, man. You know, you steal from a bro. That shit is wicked, man. If you ask, I bet you that bro will give you the shirt off his back. Cause bros love each other, man. We when we come in here, we're a new man. We're back to the customs of our old way. The one Yasharala. He is a prince of the power. When you think about being a prince of the Most High, you don't think about doing certain things, man. Or you just don't do certain things, man. Period. Point blank. Period. You know what I mean? It says Jezebel's plot. It says, and the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles, who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them, they proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying that Naboth did blaspheme Yahweh and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with the stones that he died. With stones that he died. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money. For Naboth is not alive, but dead. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus said the Lord, hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus said the Lord, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of the Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. Okay, so here's the thing, and this is a learning lesson, man, when we're reading these accounts. If you, let's say, there's a thing called living in the moment, right? Let's say, you're around a brother's rib. Maybe you saw her somewhere she wasn't supposed to be, by herself, whatever it may be, and she came on to you. If you was to take that lust and dwell in the flesh for that moment, the moment that will come later after that will be much. It would be unbearable, because you fell for the flesh for the moment, but now you're in hell for what we like to call forever. Which is just a set amount of time that the Lord has deemed for your punishment. You see, that's why what they say, that the squeeze isn't worth the juice, man. Right? The squeeze is not worth the juice. You might be squeezing a lemon, and that shit might be hard as hell, and only a drop come out. Or the risk isn't worth the reward. You see? This is a prime example because this man has coveted another a man's vineyard, which his wife did it, right? But it wasn't worth it. Because how are you going to get something just to lose that thing that you got plus everything that you own? You see, whether it be your family, whether it be your household, whether it be your cattle, you lose now. You now lose everything. Doesn't that sound crazy to you? And that's the way you should be thinking when it comes to having certain things of Satan tempt you in the flesh. It says verse 22. And will make thine house. Man, let's read verse 21 again. It says, behold, verse 21, behold, I will bring evil upon thee and will take away thy posterity. So everything, man, it says, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that shut up and that is shut up and left in Israel, and will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, the dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all things as did the Amorites, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted and lay in the sackcloth and went softly. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me? Because he humbled himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house. Verse 22. Salakia. 1 Kings 22, chapter 22. It says Ahab's third campaign against Aram. But that, by the way, that's also a good point there, that Ahab humbled himself. Cause remember, it was Jezebel who did that shit. All right, you know, now, but maybe it don't really specify, but maybe Ahab knew, kind of, or maybe had a sense and didn't do anything about it. All right, so it says Ahab's third campaign against Aram, but you see, he humbled himself before the Lord. It says, and they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel. And it came to pass in the third year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said unto his servants, know ye that Ramoth and Gilead is ours, and we be still, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria? And he said unto Jehoshaphat, wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, shall I go in against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides that we may inquire of him? So even in those days, well, especially in those days, actually, the prophets of the Lord were regarded. And today we're regarded. However, MFers try to pretend like we don't got it, It says, and the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, for he does not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah sat each on his throne, having put on the robes and a void place in the entrances of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, made him horns of iron, And he said, Thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou have consumed them. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand. Subtitle reads, Micaiah predicts defeat. Verse 13 says, And the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, Behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that I will speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? Oh, this is funny. It says, And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. See? So now, remember, it said on his right and on his left. So he has spirits that they're out here. They're made to cause mischief. You see? He has spirits out here, angels. He has angels, right? That he allows to go cause mischief on his behalf, as long as they follow the guidelines, right? They don't say that it was Satan, but Satan does the same thing. When you read the account in Job, he said, I've been coming from and to, and going upon the earth, right? Walking upon the earth, man. That was Satan. Satan told him that. Satan's an angel. This spirit said the same thing to the Heavenly Father. Said the same thing. Said the exact same thing, man. I'll become a lying spirit. It says, but Zedekiah, the son of, because remember, it says, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. Yeah. Because remember, Isaiah 45:7, it says, I create the light and create darkness. It says, but Zedekiah, the son of Chanah, went near and smote Micaiah on the cheek and said, Which way went the spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? And Micaiah said, Behold, thou shalt see in that day, when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. And the king of Israel said, Take Micaiah and carry him back unto the Ammon, the governor of the city, and Joash, the king's son, and say, Thus said the king, Put this fellow in prison and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction till I come in peace. Right, which is crazy because what? This is the Lord that's prophesying against Ahab. You see? It says, and Micaiah said, If thou return at all in peace, the Lord hath not spoken by me. And he said, Hearken, O people, every one of you. It says, defeat and death of Ahab. So Micaiah was talking cash shit. It says, so the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle, but put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had rule over his chariot, saying, Fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, Surely it is the king of Israel. And they turned aside to fight against him, and Jehoshaphat cried out. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariots, turn thine hand and carry me out into the host, for I am out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day, and the king was stayed up in his chariot against the Syrians, and died at even. And the blood ran out of the wound unto the midst of the chariot, into the midst of the chariot. And there went a proclamation throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, every man to his city, and every man to his own country. So the king died and was brought to Samaria, and they buried the king in Samaria. And one washed a chariot in the pool of Samaria, and the dogs licked up his blood, and they washed his armor according unto the word of the Lord which he spake. Exactly. Yep. It says, now the rest, I believe Elijah told him that, right? It says, now the rest of the acts of Ahab and all that he did, and the ivory house which he made, and all the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? So Ahab slept with his fathers, and as Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his stead. It says the new rulers. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, began to reign over Judah in the 4th year of Ahab, king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shilhi. And he walked in all the ways of Asa his father. He turned not aside from it, doing that which was right in the eyes of the Lord. Nevertheless, the high places were not taken away, for the people offered and burnt incense yet in the high places. And Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat and his might that he showed, and how he warred, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of Kings of Judah? And the remnant of the Sodomites which remained in the days of his father Asa, he took out of the land. There was then no king in Edom. A deputy was king. Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at Eziongeber. Some of these words are twisted of tongue. It says, then said Ahaziah the son of Ahab unto Jehoshaphat, let my servants go with thy servants in the ships. But Jehoshaphat would not. And Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. And Jehoram his son reigned in his stead. Ahaziah the son of Ahab began to reign over Israel and Samaria the 17th year of Jehoshaphat king of Judah, and reigned 2 years over Israel. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. And walked in the way of his father, and in the way of his mother, and in the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. Yeah, man. For he served Baal and worshipped him, and provoked to anger the Lord, power of Israel, according to all that his father had done. See, so Israel just that's the first. That's First Kings. That whole book shows you how wicked we were, and why the Lord has done the things that he has done to us. You can't be mad. You can't be mad, man. You know, and to this day, we continue to F up, man. That's why we need to pray for forgiveness, man. And I know we mess up every single day, man. Each and every last one of us, man. That's why we gotta think about these scriptures when we you know, when we going about our day to day, man. Keep them in your scriptures, keep them close to you, keep them in your heart, in your la'ab, man, in your mind. Say to yourself, yo, man, all right, so the Lord kept giving us chance after chance, and we kept on disappointing him. So every day, let me try to do a little bit better. So with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rachak Kodash, double honors to Apostle, the elders, the great millstone, that rule well, peace and blessings, and hopeful elect, and shalom,